An additional theory that we can look at when looking at my client's development is ecological theory. Ecological theory explains human development by assessing how a client engages with their environment and how they perceive those experiences. This theory can help the clinician to understand why and how a client reacts to crisis. For example, after the death of his wife, it is important for my client to understand how he coped with his grief. For example, some of the things that he did to cope with grief were to create new relationships in which he could nurture and to use food as a coping mechanism. As a result, he gained weight and had health issues. Another way to look at it would be to look at his lifestyle and how he adapted to it. Some of the ways in which he adapted to his new lifestyle were to reach out to his community and his church. He also, again, made new relationships with people and worked again as their essential and primary caregiver. Lastly, we want to take a look at his social environment. His social environment is full. He engages with his community, his church, and his family. Each of these details will help us in understanding which factors have the greatest influence on his crisis, and this will help us to assist him in finding therapeutic solutions. Some of the limitations of the theory. Erik Erikson's theory on development is a great tool for outlining a person's developmental stages. However, it can be very limiting. Each person is different, and their experiences happen at different times and ages in their life. A person's level of cognitive and emotional development will also affect their developmental stage. For example, my client had children later on in life. He also lost a spouse earlier in life than most. Based on his age and experiences, he would be placed in stage 7 of Erikson's model. However, part of his developmental crisis in this stage was loss of identity. This did not lead to stagnation, rather, it could better be defined in stage 5, identity versus identity. The developmental model was not able to adequately define his development at this stage in his life. Instead, ecological theory would have been more useful in resolving and understanding his crisis.